This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. This video is sponsored by Maurice Andrews Solicitors, Birmingham. Get in touch today for the best representation. The first story comes from Europol, and nearly 50 suspects have been arrested on the 3rd of June this month, when they launched a large-scale operation that has taken months to prepare cases for these gangs. They believe that it started in the Canary Islands in Spain, and the investigation was led there by the Spanish authorities and also involved law enforcement agencies from Portugal, Colombia, the UK and USA. As a result of this operation, 48 suspects were arrested, 3.8 tonnes of cocaine were seized, 29 houses were searched, 69 vehicles were seized, 6 properties were seized, and £100,000 in euros was also seized. Europol played a key role in the investigation by providing critical, analytical and financial support that contributed to the success of the operation. On Action Day, a Europol specialist was deployed to Spain to support authorities in the field. They believed the gang they targeted brought drugs from South America and targeted the European Union. The gang owned 11 speedboats that were being used and departing from strategic points in the Atlantic Ocean to a mothership transporting cocaine. After loading the drugs onto the speedboats, the suspects dropped them off to the Canary Islands, ready for distribution. Additionally, the criminal network used a complex encrypted communication network to evade law enforcement, and this included using satellite terminals, hard-to-trace phones, and a coded language. And this is really interesting because if you watched the EncroChat episode yesterday, it has been really hard for gangs to replace EncroChat and to learn something that makes them trust it. And also the coded language is another example of how they are communicating and finding ways around post EncroChat being hacked. And I look forward to hearing what viewers have to say on that story. Staying in Spain for this next story, and it involves an importation of 7,000 kilos of drugs, that is 7 tonnes. This was seized earlier in the year, and this led to an investigation by Spanish police that has now seen 17 people arrested and 2 brothers that the police say are the leaders of a group based in Malaga, and they have been trafficking drugs across Spain into Europe, and 15 searches were carried out at properties in Seville as well. The Spanish police have arrested one of the most active criminal organisations dedicated to cocaine trafficking across the Guadalquivir River. The operation was carried out in 3 phases and has resulted in the total arrest of 17 people. They include the 2 brothers that are wanted for 3 years, but I've not been able to find any details about who they are, so if anybody does know, drop a comment below. The operation included an investigation that took place a year ago, and it began with the seizure of 7,000 kilos of cocaine and the arrest of 3 people who have now been sent to prison. The second phase is the arrests, and the final phase was 12 other arrests that took place and 13 raids as well across Seville City and Malaga. 4 people have been remanded into custody and 6 people have been released on bail, and 2 others have been released of any charges. The police said the organisation was very structured and it had hierarchy, and the 2 brothers ran the organisation at the top. Each member of the group had responsibilities from coordinating contacts from international suppliers to overseeing payments to family members that was in prison. Other family members were charged with logistics, concealment and the surveillance of the drugs. The searches carried out found £75,000 in cash, firearms, several assault rifles, submachine guns, a stolen shotgun, a large amount of ammunition, a knife, imitation firearms and bulletproof vests and drones. The police said this was part of an operation to combat drug importation across Spain, and they've had a lot of involvement in this lately and a lot of different seizures that I'm sure are going to come in the future. I look forward to hearing what viewers have to say on that story, and please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel for all the latest news.
Let op! 3, 2, 1...
That is video footage of Dutch police blowing up explosives that were used by a gang that were targeting ATMs across Germany and the Netherlands. 20 people were involved in this criminal organisation, and they made around £1.2 million that was stolen from these cash machines. Police have seized €290,000, and they also found 600,000 in cryptocurrencies that were also seized and believed to have been a way that they were laundering the money. Investigators linked the ATM attacks in Germany, Switzerland and France to the same group. The series of successful operations resulted in the Operational Taskforce in Germany, the Netherlands, France and Switzerland coordinating the operation together. The group was composed of 20 Dutch nationals, and they were based mainly in Amsterdam, and there was a highly specialist group, and they believed that they targeted the cash machines across federal states in Germany, and investigations showed that they used sophisticated methods and had a very unique modus operandi. The group that was apprehended followed a modus operandi that involved scouting out any suitable sites across several different countries, both online and in real life, and finding which cash machines were relatively easy to rob, and also getaway options. After identifying and scoping out the potential locations, the robbers returned in the night and rigged the machines with solid explosives that were activated from a distance. Detonations typically did not only destroy the ATMs, but also devastated the area that was around it. Europol police also stated that in recent years, the criminal phenomenon of stealing money from cash machines has increased across Europe, with law enforcement agencies and financial institutions teaming up to increase ATM safety features in heavily affected areas. The criminals shift their focus to easier targets and often travelling long distances to perform the attacks. So I thought these stories and every other story featured is very interesting, and I can't wait to hear what people have to say in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and send your stories to scarcitystudios@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And follow on social media at Scarcity Studios on Telegram, Instagram, Twitter and also TikTok. Peace.